Hello, Stephanie and Axel.
Hey, how are you, sweetie?
I'm good. It's been a really long time.
Not kidding. I'm not even gonna count the days or months or whatever.
Um, but I'm glad we get together to talk and we maybe go a little bit longer today because we'd probably end up talking for 5 hours because we've talked, but we haven't talked in a while, so this is great. And there sure is a lot going on. Whoa. Volcanic eruptions in Italy.
And that
Plus,
exponential speed. So yeah.
yeah, so we were thinking, brace yourself, shoot the curl. What was the other one?
Oh yeah, hold on.
Don't get
Brave the wave,
Maytagged.
brave the wave, shoot the curl, and don't get
Don't get
Maytagged.
Maytagged. It's like a lot of surfing through this year. Physical things, earth things, lots of things. Um, Axel things. Hi, Axel. What is he doing eating?
Yeah, well, he's a little hyper now. He was sleeping a little while ago, and now he's got all this energy. Yeah.
Cutie, cutie, cutie. Yeah, so wow.
Yeah.
Um, and we have some, different viewpoints, both you and I, which is great. We think that's what life's all about. Um, we're not going to agree on everything right now. Lots of people aren't. Um, but it is a time of change. It's a time of absolute transformation, transmutation, whatever you want to
Some
call
people,
it, end times.
yeah, chaos.
So it's a lot. It's a lot happening. So,
I did write down a few notes because I wanted to just spew out a few ideas, and then you can, we can debate it, and you can rein me in if I'm going off on a tangent.
okay. Yeah, I just feel like
Yeah,
this is a
yeah,
really incredible time in history. It's kind of undeniable. And I think as we continue to go forward, things will be even more undeniable in terms of the changes that are upon us, and it's nothing to be freaked out about. It's a great thing. It's a good thing. It's a necessary thing. Some of it won't be easy though, earth changes are always hard. Um, they don't have to be, but it seems to be like a shift. And I think when people are denying things or not paying attention, it makes it more difficult to go through certain things. If people would just come out and say, hey, this is a concern. Um, some volcanoes are starting to erupt. I mean, hello, what part of that do you not get? But they've had some really, and sometimes it's unexpected, but when you can see it, I think it's important to
Mhm.
take some action where you can.
Yeah, definitely. The earth is cleansing itself, so we basically have to be prepared for anything. We don't know what's going to happen. We can only speculate, but
We can
we're
see
going to be
some of
okay.
it. We can see
Yeah,
some of it. We've seen some of it now already.
yeah, yeah. But we're going to be okay. We're going to get through it. We might be challenged mentally and spiritually and maybe physically, but the thing to remember is to honor everyone's path, regardless of how hard it is to watch, or how good. Keep praying for the children everywhere. Pray for patience. Pray for discernment, clarity, whatever it is you need. Everything's happening in God's time. God's timing is always perfect. And I know this is a little controversial, but I'm going to put it out there. Remember that we're all in it together, and that everyone's been fooled on some level. And don't beat yourself up over it,
Mhm.
because we've been bombarded from all angles on various things. So it's a learning curve, and it is now a path of growing awareness and self discovery, strengthening our faith, whatever it might be, and achieving sovereignty and becoming love.
I always love talking to you. Um, and you're right. I mean, it is, we have been fooled, and in a way, we are all complicit in many things because we put our hands on things every single day that harm environments, harm animals, destroy the earth. And, you know, it's not like we mean to, but we have been complicit.
And the
And
way they sell it in just the right way to make it sound, oh, it's good for the environment, it's good for this, good for that. But when you really look into it, it's like, no, it's not good for, if you look at the power, the windmill things they're putting in the ocean, that's disturbing dolphin and whale sonic resonance. They work off of sonic frequencies. And the drone coming from those things is disrupting them.
Well,
So
just going back to something really simple, even like plastic bags. I mean, we've
yeah,
known for a long time these things and people have tried to change them, but it's like we're all complicit in this. And that's really just to say that to not be a victim. If you
right.
take responsibility for anything in your life, you can transmute it. Anything. Um, we have a part, you know, I can't with Axel.
I know he's
So cute. Oh my God. Bunnies are the best. Yeah, you heard me right. You're the best. Bunny
Axel.
ears. So yeah, that kind of thing for me is really important in terms of, you know, fooled and duped. And if you take responsibility for the fact that you've been duped, then you're like, oh, okay, well, let's change that, you know, and that's
Yeah,
not an easy thing to do. It takes time to change things. You know, we're in the process of, you know, fumbling and falling on our faces continually because we want so much everything to be different. We want it quickly. We want it now. It's going to take time. We're going to do this together and sort of rebuild different ideas of ways things can get to be a little bit more where we want them to be, not quite so destructive, you know.
and
It's
it
not going
doesn't
to happen
happen.
overnight.
Exactly. We have time moving forward and to think it through before we actually jump on something and oh, it's a good idea, but I didn't really think it all the way through. And then years down the line, you're like, oh wait, I didn't think it was going to do that, or I always think about the impact on what's around you. So you have to come up with the idea, but then look long term ahead and try to think of or plan for any repercussions and how to divert them.
Yeah, and you know, in my opinion, it's really a consciousness shift too with
Mhm.
humanity in general. And I'll give you an example, and this is not in any way to say that things are perfect and this was great and everything, you know, this is silly. But you know, last year I was at the beach nearby me and I saw this guy picking up garbage and I was like, what a great idea. I love you for doing that. And he said, I always do a bag every day when I come out. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to do the same thing. So I did start doing that. Not only that is an interesting fact that there have been studies that it's actually really good for your health and your immune system to pick up garbage. Someone did a study on that. It's really amazing. So I'm like, okay,
Well,
so this is good for me. I'm going to do this.
just
And
the fun way of it, because clutter and all that really affects the mood.
so this year I go back and I'm determined I'm going to do it again. And, you know, apparently me and quite a few other people,
Cool.
because I had a hard time finding anything one day. And I was like,
Nice.
wow. So they have a crew. The community's also actively doing this. Clearly, we're inspiring each other. There was a
Mhm.
day when I went out, which was very easy. But this woman thanked me. And I said, I like to fill up a bag. Today was really easy. We were laughing. Today was really easy. There was a lot of garbage on the beach. But the next couple of weeks, it's just been incredibly clean and clear. And I find that to be a consciousness thing where we do operate that way as human beings. We you know, we affect each other and we are sort of,
Inspiring.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're telepathic by nature.
Mhm.
That's a very rudimentary ability that we have. And in what way is that? I think people think of that in terms of like, you know, I'm gonna send you a message. It's really a sensation, some of what I'm learning about it, because these things are all redeveloping in us now. But some of what I'm learning about it is that it's that kind of thing where, hey, I think I'm going to do this, and then someone else just feels that wave. It's like a waveform,
Well,
you
it's
know, and
like
they feel the
yeah,
fluidity of that.
like energy attracts like energy. So if you're negative, you're going to attract negative. If you're positive, you're going to attract positive. And, there was a period of time I was like really depressed, was getting over, an ex. And I read somewhere, just force yourself to smile.
Oh yeah.
And it took a while, a couple minutes, here and there. And then I started to do it more and more. And I'm telling you, it lifts your mood. And then it lifts the mood of everybody around you. Try doing that, going out and smile at a stranger and see
Start your
what you
day
get.
that way. I know you might, if it's really bad, you might have to take your hands and just push your face off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just kidding. It's
No, I
really
mean,
hard to do. You got to pull your face up into that smile. Um, but yeah, so and that's the thing. It's those kinds of things like, 100th monkey, we've heard about that,
Mhm.
this sort of successionary thing where this is really part of our gifts, that we have, that we can really affect one another in a really amazing way. And I think in a lot of the ways in the world, we've been pulled into doing that negatively through fear, which is something that's leaving now. We have to find new ways, focus that strength to the things that we really want, which is so exciting, wonderful. And not perfect. Again, we're not in a perfect world.
Mhm.
I don't think it ever will be. Even when things improve drastically, we'll always have some kind of contrast here because it's part of this place is about learning.
Right. And you need that conflict to help yourself grow.
I
Because
think
it's
it'll
how you,
become more contrast than conflict,
yeah,
hopefully in the future, because yeah, because that's got to stop. This sort of pitting against one another kind of is nuts. Contrast is a whole different thing.
yeah.
Supporting each other, like through contrasting experiences, can just make you grow exponentially.
Definitely.
So you're telling me that I have to learn surfing? Is that what this is?
Yeah, pretty
Shoot
much.
the curl?
Because I always used to say, just, ride the waves,
Right.
because it's waves, it's ups and downs, and, you got to navigate them. So
Yeah.
there's a lot,
I've
there's a lot of wisdom in those, in those words, I guess.
I stood up on a surfboard once and then immediately fell into the ocean.
I
It
don't
was a
swim. I
great
probably,
feeling for that 1 second.
yeah, my friends surf, so it's kind of cool.
We could
But
lay on the surfboard, kind of
yeah,
like paddleboard and just put your whole body on there and
and I'll
just
find. Oh
ride it
yeah,
like a boogie board. We're gonna be okay.
I forgot. I'll find some way to put a cocktail holder on it. So these are
Of course you would.
buzz ball,
Oh my God, I love you. I'm
forbidden apple.
drinking coffee, Cafe de Ola, which is delicious.
Oof, it's like a sour apple.
Oh,
Oof.
that sounds good. Yum.
Yeah, a little harsh. When I make apple martinis, they're a little sweeter than that.
Oh,
Ooh,
I love apple. I love an apple martini. It's a beautiful thing. I haven't had one in a very long time.
I smuggled in amaretto sours when we went bowling last night. We
Of
had a
course you
lab.
did.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah.
Did you get any stripes?
Several. And it's been like 20 years since I bowled. So
Wow.
I used,
Awesome.
we used to do it weekly, kind of, and but I did break 100 two games.
Nice.
So, but it's way below my average. But
Wow. Ooh,
I have a bad knee and a bad back.
you're a bowling superstar. That's awesome. Yeah. And I think some of the things too is to realize, how fortunate we are, to really have fun during this time
Yeah.
as much as we can, because there's so much going on in the world. I mean, how fortunate we are to not have bombs being dropped on our heads,
Mhm.
this is happening. And not only that, but other things and physical problems and just the brevity of everything. And we just want to enjoy every minute watching Axel eat his hay. Is that a piece of hay?
Yeah.
Can't not. You're the cutest bunny. I was, yeah. It's either hay or a cigarette. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Well, yeah,
It's hay.
yeah, it's hay.
He's so cute.
He's,
Mhm.
he's teaching me to eat a little healthier. So
Yeah. I think
not
that's
like
one of,
a dog, you can feed them what you're eating, no matter what you're eating. But with these guys, I got to be really careful. And since he's totally vegetarian, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to go that route eventually.
I think it's amazing. I think that, food and certain communications technologies are really important things to keep a handle on during these times. I mean, obviously, here in the States, we're going into an election, which is always just
Yeah,
a really fun time.
yeah,
I'm being sarcastic if you can't
yeah,
sense the sarcasm. So, we want to turn things off, have control over our environment, and of course, eating what feels really good for our own particular bodies is such an amazing thing because it can be such a have such a calming effect on us.
yeah. It's funny because I think your body tells you to, like, if you've gone the wrong way and you eaten the wrong stuff for a while. I haven't had any fast food in like 4 months, maybe 3 months. And the thought of it now, if I think of fried food, I just feel like this pit in my stomach, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want
That's
to do it.
amazing. Yeah, I think we're all changing. Our bodies are literally changing. So
Mhm.
that's a thing now. And it's very naturally occurring. It's nothing you have to do.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah,
formula for one person. We're all completely unique in this. So that's
yeah.
like a huge thing. But there is a very naturally occurring thing where you're just like, eh. Like I got this amazing cantaloupe from the farmer's market yesterday, and it's just like the best thing in the world for me right now. I
Mhm.
feel so soothed by it, and it's so hydrating, and it's just all these things that I'm wanting. Again, somebody else might be completely disgusted with that, which is fine. We don't all like the same things, and you don't
Yeah, yeah,
need the same things. Some of us
exactly.
need more of other things and less of this, and then more of that and less of this. And this is what's happening right now because the physical body is going through a massive emergence with light, is how I would kind of think of it in my own part and experience.
Yeah.
We are a cool, unique fusion of light and matter, but it's just so much more of that coming in. So you're just doing things differently. Everybody's doing things differently. It's kind of remarkable.
I mean, because we know, I mean, how many years have they been saying? And, as an EMT, we used to see that on nights when there was a full moon. It was like the ER was always packed, just
Wow,
with
that's wild.
every, like even, EDPs and stuff like that, like people off, a little bit off, and it would be swarmed. So if our
Mm,
body is reacting to like the tide, because we're mostly made of water, why wouldn't we be also affected by energy shifts and raising frequencies?
right, exactly. It's really
Mhm.
cool. And, we're all different. We're all doing this differently, but it is a biological and a consciousness shift
Mhm.
simultaneously. It's not
Mhm.
just one or the other. I think it's a combination of many different things. And it's a spiritual shift because spirituality was never supposed to be something over there that you did, that you went to on a certain day, that you,
Right.
that was outside. It was a normal everyday thing. We lost touch with that. We're getting that back. This isn't some weird thing that you have to achieve. It's who you are, you know? And that's so funny to me. It's like now it's just funny. What were we
Spirit,
thinking?
it's
What
spirit,
the hell have we been doing?
yeah, spiritual beings in a physical body. So we have to always remember that when the body no longer exists, the spirit never dies, you know.
Right,
So why would we discount that while we're here right now at this moment? You
right.
can't. They kind of go hand in hand because you need this body to
Mhm.
exist here, but you're really a spiritual being.
And we're at a point in time in history too where I think many people are religious and many people are not.
Mhm.
And all of it's okay. I mean, we're beings of love, and
Yeah.
whether we have to respect each other and our differences.
And it's not necessarily about dogma, it's what rings true for you, whether it's, studying a book and or it's something that you pick out from nature.
You can do all of it or none of it. And you're still going to be going through this. That's the other thing that I think is really cool. You can be completely not even aware of anything, and you're still going through this metamorphosis because it's in the air, it's in the flow, it's in the fluidity of our being. And it's fun to be aware of it. Sometimes it's been a little harrowing to be aware of it, but also really fun because you feel these changes occurring within your being. But I'm seeing it, and it's very exciting to me. I'm seeing it through other people that I know, and that's so beautiful.
And you see it with the animals too, because even, the wildlife seems to be more tolerant of us, so
Wow.
the deer don't run away. The birds will come and you can literally talk to them and they look at you like, huh? But they don't fly away, kind of thing.
Mm. That's amazing. I hadn't really noticed that. You've been having experiences like
Yeah,
that.
because there's this robin at my job. So every morning when I'm walking in, he's in the field and he just sits there and he stares at me. And I talk to it and I'm like, get out of the sun, it's too hot or whatever. But it's just sitting there in the field and it watches me walk by and whatever. And I see it in the morning and I see it when I leave. So it's so funny.
He's like, there's that animal sanctuary lady. I like
Yeah.
her.
And then one time I parked right next to a bush in the parking lot and I had a cardinal. And then I don't think we get mockingbirds, but it's a gray bird. I don't think we get them in New York, but I don't know. I think they're a little further south, but it looks like a mockingbird to me. But,
Wow.
it's like, sitting in the sun and it's, like, preening itself and, cleaning and whatever. And then it turns around and it's looking at me while I'm sitting in the car and it's tilting its head like that. But it's not flying away. It just sits there. So it's kind of cool.
I've had some amazing sightings this year, quite a few sightings of blue heron,
Oh,
great blue
wow.
heron. They're not very common, and I've
Yeah.
only ever seen one once. This year I've seen four, and I was like, wow, this is such a gift.
They're further north, and then I think maybe in Jersey. I don't know.
Mhm.
And since we're so close, maybe Long Island too. So maybe.
Yeah, then at the beach you'll see them. I saw about five of them yesterday. They weren't blue heron, they were egret, which is a form of heron.
Mm-hmm.
They're just all sitting out on the rocks with the seagulls. They were incredibly cute, and they're just beautiful creatures. And then I did get to see a bald eagle this summer, which was absolutely amazing. And my sister's seen it several times, which is really cool to me too, because that's not a normal thing.
Yeah.
To see, or a regular thing to see.
Yeah.
It's perfectly normal.
Take
It's not regular.
take you from nature. They're relaxed. They don't seem to be stressing. So you know what?
No,
Neither
no,
should
they're
we.
not. Yeah, nothing to stress out about. Let it all do its thing, and we should be just fine.
Chillaxing like Axel.
So I'm ready to get on that boogie board, and we got this, as we've
Yeah.
been saying for such a long time, because it has been just incremental spurts of growth for all of us. So we'll just keep doing that, and we'll see how things go. And I'm really certainly wishing for the best for everyone, especially with the transitional earth changes, really want that to be smooth, smooth as it can be.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I think one of the coolest things I saw this year was something going on in Africa where the earth is splitting, literally growing every day. And it's to the point now where it's literally the size of a river. So they're realizing this part of the country is splitting off. But there's like so much time to change things. And I thought, God, what a gracious way for Mother Nature to do that. Could you do that everywhere? Because it's so sweet. It's not aggressive or some big earthquake, but the earthquake is happening.
Yeah.
It's just very
Yeah.
incremental, and they can,
Which is the better way to do it instead of like something massive and whatever.
I mean, I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
these changes are occurring. It's
Mhm.
very exciting because it will make things different. And the earth changing and splitting in different things changes our consciousness too. So
I've been running on New York and LA time right now. So
simultaneously,
yeah. So instead of, because I usually am up until like midnight or something. Now I'm up to 3 a.m. So that's like midnight LA time. So I
right,
don't know why the last few weeks I've been like that. So
you're
I'm like,
bringing
okay,
the two states together.
maybe. I don't
That's great. Like simultaneously, then you're up
yeah.
having breakfast here. Well, there's another thing too. There's this incredible thing
Yeah, I
of
have to.
having these multiple sleep times
Yeah.
that they used to have, um, where you would go to sleep when the sun went down, and then you would wake up
Mhm.
at about 2 or 3 in the morning, get some things done, have something to eat, and go back to bed.
That's kind of what I feel like I'm doing
Well,
now.
yeah, I'm like, that's pretty much my life. Yeah, I'm like a big napper, and I'm not there for very long unless it's an extraordinary day where sometimes that can happen. But I like to take these intervals of sleep. It feels really good to me. So that makes a
Mhm.
lot of sense. And they're talking about this time in history when that was a normal thing. And I
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember when that time was, but it was a while ago.
So I'm not going crazy then.
Yeah, I know. And see, this is the thing. It's happening to us sort of naturally. We're not really
Mhm.
realizing it, but then these things are coming up where it's it's just happening. You're just doing it, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll be in touch and we'll do more of these.
Yeah. Get
Because
back on
Steph,
track.
we like to talk to each other. I like to talk to you. And you're pretty too. So
Oh, thank you so sweetie.
and there's
I see
Axel.
all around you. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's
You know,
no, he's
we
so
know
cute.
star.
And we'll just do the best we can. I mean, we're all messing up, we don't
Yeah.
feel like anything good is really happening in many aspects. It's just like
And we're all here together
judging
to
a
support.
lot. But we're
Yeah.
doing it and we're doing,
Mhm.
and then sometimes I wake up and feel amazing. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to figure it all out anymore. I sort of feel certain things that I
Yeah.
feel, and
I've gone away from the intel. I've gotten away from any of the 3D stuff, so to speak. And yeah, I'm just trying to be and going with the flow, riding the waves. uh, and just,
fabulous.
what's being brought to me and kind of like just trying to figure it, just kind of feel it out, not
I
think it
know,
out.
absolutely. I'm just at
Mhm.
this point in my life where I just much, much rather sit underneath the tree.
Yeah.
It's just what I want to do. I
And
don't want
it, it,
anything
it
else.
gives you such a sense of peace, which I haven't had, I don't think ever, to be
Yeah.
honest. Um, just I'm so relaxed about everything. So, you know,
Good thing.
find a way to make it work for you where you're not stressing.
Yeah, and choose those things in that direction because you do have choices, and we don't control everything, obviously, but what we do have control of, we can do. Put
Yeah.
put away things that annoy you. It's very easy. I mean,
Yeah.
but we for some reason think there's certain things that we have to do. It's not true.
Right.
We
And
have our
there's
structures in our lives and things we need to do,
right.
obviously.
And there's more than one way to do things. So think outside the box. What works for one person doesn't work for another person. You find out what works for you. And
Yep,
there's no right or wrong. As long as you're not harming anybody, there's no right or wrong. Universal law, do no harm. And that's it. Keep it simple.
we're all subject to universal law, and it is what it is. It's not impeachable or changeable because it's just a direction of that. So
And don't think about judgment, revenge, anything like that. Universe will take care of it.
absolutely. And because you don't know the whole story sometimes too. So
A lot of people are coming from past traumas, childhood traumas, and that's how they react, or you know, so we kind of have to give them a little bit of a leeway and
All
just,
is known, all is seen. You don't
Yeah.
get that all the time. We don't get to see everything all the time. So just let it do its thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds like fun. And if it's not, we'll be okay.
okay to scream. You could scream, purge it out, scream it out. You'll feel better. You
If you
know.
don't, I will for you. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, I kiss you and the bunny. Excellent. I love you, baby.
Love you
So
guys.
everybody have a beautiful day and we'll talk to you soon.
You too.
Maybe.